looking at new ways to focus on our health. So joining me today is Dr. Ben Call from Port Neuf Medical Center. Dr. Call, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for the invitation.
So one thing that we want to talk about that maybe isn't talked about enough is our blood pressure. And there's a top number and a bottom number. For people like me that aren't medically savvy, just explain to us what those numbers mean and what our blood pressure really tells us.
Yeah, well, they're called the systolic and diastolic. It's the top number. They both matter. And without going into all of the wherewithal in it, I think the thing that you need to know is high is bad, low isn't so bad. The ideal blood pressure number is, and it's been well determined now, is under 130 for the top number, under 80 for the bottom number. So 120s over 70s is perfect. 110 over 65 is fine. People say, well, is my blood pressure too low? Generally, we don't worry too much about low blood pressure unless you're lightheaded and you don't feel well with it.
Okay, and when we're talking about kind of that ideal range, if you are a little lower or you are a little higher, what do some of those things mean if you're out of that range?
If you're a little lower, I wouldn't worry about it, okay? A lot of people just naturally run low blood pressures and they tend to live longer. There's a lot of data that shows that when your blood pressure starts going up, it puts you at a higher risk for stroke, for heart attack, for all kinds of really bad things. And it's one of the major reversible things that we can do to keep us out of trouble with our health going forward. We used to think that the number 140 over 90 was the magic number, and it's been shown now that the 130s over 80s it's not as bad as the 140s over 90s, but it's still not good, and we do much better if we can keep it lower than that.
Okay, and are there some other factors that can kind of play into maybe your blood pressure fluctuating a little bit, like age, weight, those types of things?
Well, age clearly has a big thing, but yes, staying at a healthy weight, things that are been shown to help keep your blood pressure under control: exercising, walking, 150 minutes a week, that's 30 minutes 5 days a week, eating less salt. Okay, dill pickles are not your friend, and neither tostados and all that kind of stuff. You know, chips. Eat lots of grains, fruits, vegetables. Tobacco is not good, and alcohol is not good. I mean, I don't think there's any problem with having a drink at night, but anything more than that is really a problem for that.
And how often should people kind of be checking their blood pressure and making sure that they're staying where they want it to be?
Oh golly, it tends to, everybody's blood pressure is kind of like the waves of the sea. It's up and down a little bit all the time. The question is it up and down here, or is it up and down here? And so I'd say check it every few days. If you haven't checked it for a while, you know, I don't think you need to be checking it 4 times a day.
Okay, excellent. Dr. Call, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, I appreciate the invitation.
All right.